Greetings from one fellow plasma cycler to another. These are the chronicles of our lives. Okay, I never thought any of this would be happening, but alas, here we are, washing our hair with fresh plasma. So I changed a few things about the routine with the hair, and I'm loving it so much that that's what actually got me sitting down on this cushion right now, recording my voice on my phone. Life is just, can it get more bizarre? So I've been washing, like basically using the water here to rinse off the street off of my body. And then after that, taking fresh plasma and soaking my hair with it, like kind of half toweling off a little bit, like squeegeeing myself of the water, and then re-soaking my hair and massaging my face and just going down my whole body with fresh plasma. And like, it's not always warm. Usually it's something I kind of have been tucking stuff away for this. It's more clear and nicer, like especially after we eat a huge watermelon and your body's producing all of this plasma, and it's like super clear plasma. Like it really doesn't have a lot of flavor to it. You feel the flavor of the watermelon. It's so much like water kefirs and like when people put apple cider vinegar into their water, and there's like this hint of it in the background. It's not a whole bunch. Like we're talking a tablespoon in an 8-ounce glass. Maybe even more diluted than that. You know, it's been so long since I've had apple cider vinegar because I do all my own ferments as far as vinegars go, including herbal ones, which I love so much, and spiced ones also, and of course fruit. For obvious reasons. The latest addiction has been guava, and not just the water part, but because guava have so many of those little seeds in them, they just drive you crazy, like the raspberries. And this is why, another reason why I love ferments. I feel like you get more bang. Well, you definitely get more nutrition for your buck if you're counting that as something. The depth of how real all of this stuff is really a trip, because the body actually requires very little, but it's in becoming a breatharian and coming off of food. It's really it's like coming off any hard drug. Like, sure, you can go cold turkey, but not everybody's ready for that journey. And the enzymes of the foods that you love are such a beautiful transition for your body, because there isn't really anything more nutrient dense than that. It's like, because of this process of fermentation that goes on. And this is using sugar as a base starter, or a fresh pressed sugarcane juice to be more exact. But if you can't have access to that, then you run yourself down the list and, you know, you use the highest one on that count to start these ferments with very little. You don't need any starter. The sugar is actually, or the sugarcane juice is actually the starter. So, yes, the hair and the plasma, the fresh plasma, and not rinsing it out. This whole thing of water is what it's all showing to me at such a crazy level right now. Because I see all of the residue on my sink from just doing the dishes. When the water dries, there's this hard powder there. And from seeing the inside of a water distiller that a friend of mine or an acquaintance or a companion of mine here in San Cristobal showed me the inside of his water distiller. And it just makes your joints hurt looking at it. And you can feel your pineal gland calcifying in real time. Yeah. So we've tested a bunch of, oh, not a bunch, but he's tested a few of the different waters here. Turns out the one that we thought was like the best for us was one of, well, the worst from everything that we tested. And it was the most expensive. I'm not going to get into all the details of it because that part doesn't really matter. The part that matters is distill your water and drink distilled water. And avoid sodium chloride, and be careful with your waters, and drink your waters, and make sure your own waters taste yummy. And this whole coming off of food thing has really been interesting with myself. We're on to herbal honey and bread now. So with intermittent fruit to keep everything flowing, and regular enemas. I don't even know how people do it without an enema now, or a Basti, however you want to call it. A Basti insert 5 ml of 2 weeks aged plasma will make daily will make a life-altering positive turn in your life without doing anything else. 5 ml a day, 2 weeks or older plasma. I've been filtering all my plasma lately, also, by the way, which isn't necessary, but just as a quest for perfection or discovery, just learning in general, because if you don't know the difference, then you don't know which one it feels better for you. So I've been coffee filtering all of my plasma, except for when I drink my Fresh Morning plasma. Or those drinkables, I haven't yet started that, but I feel like it could happen. And so for Bastis and enemas and topical, like the boiled, I also filtered my boiled plasma that I use for my face and other parts of the body at certain times. And all of the stuff that I use for enemas and Bastis. And actually I drank that filtered, aged as well. Because now as we shift more into this breatharian vibe, the cleanliness feels more like cleanliness in the way of filtering this purification process. And because plasma has the ability to break up like stones and stuff in your body, not that I think it's a problem taking that back in, because that's what's actually breaking it down. So you're still purifying, but you're giving your body more things to purify. So just eliminate it all is what I say. So that's why I've been filtering it. And it's surprising. I can't get more than 750 ml through a standard coffee filter, basket one, not cone shaped, basket one. So, and the boiled plasma was easier to filter, but I also siphoned off the top. Before I boiled that, I picked the cream off the top. I didn't filter it before boiling it, but I'll do that next time. But I did filter that one, and it was easier to go through. Actually, I was surprised. So I could have done more. I didn't. I was like half a liter. So I probably could have easily done a liter or maybe even a liter and a half. But I will let everybody know how that continues to evolve. Um, that's it. Oh, some people have been at this. Might be lengthy. Get a drink if you need to and pause. So, some of my companions in this journey have been asking questions about my transition from Laos through Canada to now here in Jovel, Chiapas, and the culture and the ease of like foodstuffs and things like that have come up. So it's been quite the emotional ride going from Laos in December to Canada. You know, I feel really lucky to have gotten the opportunity to experience a true West Coast winter of snow and wind and sleet and a beautiful, beautiful, such calm day with the sun shining that I managed to get out on the water with on a boat trip from Campbell River to Stewart Island. I shared a few. I should look and see. I haven't put all those videos up yet, actually, with my dear friend out there, Shale. Oh my goodness. It was like a day of bliss. And I felt so lucky to have gotten a chance to do that while I was there. And shoveling snow and pruning trees and splitting firewood and stacking firewood and bringing firewood into the house by wheelbarrow load and installing gates and fences. And yeah, I got a chance to do so many things with people while I was in beach walks and hiking trails. And yeah, just so many different beautiful experiences in beautiful British Columbia. I spent most of my time on Quadra Island, Campbell River, and then Summerland, BC. And it was all just like a beautiful dream. So happy. You know, plasma cycling and fasting and then indulging in something intense, having an intense experience or like a shock. You know, this is why people drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes. Like, I have never been able to smoke a cigarette without vomiting, so I don't know how people do that. But it's the same thing. So I've like been totally not on any caffeine whatsoever in months. And these last like 3 days in a row, we've gone out for a double espresso just to taste the coffee of this area. And wow, it's like a shock to the system when you haven't had that in your body in so long. And today we had 3, like a double espresso, and then we went to a second coffee shop and had another espresso because I don't know what the water situation is with these people, so I'm just reducing the amount of water so you can actually taste the coffee. Water is such a huge deal. Anyway, that's another thing. You don't know what kind of water is being used to brew these things, which is like for me, that's the biggest part of the whole game. And affects the flavor so much. So yeah, so it's been like this. You see the energy it gives you, but it actually it's like taking more than it's giving. But it's like putting yourself into a heightened state of awareness, or it's like not a heightened state of awareness. it shifts your assemblage point when you do something drastic like that. People think they need to go on like a psychedelic mushroom trip, or just like there's a list of all of the things, all of the forbidden and unforbidden things that you can put in your body, and people have all kinds of different opinions about them no matter where you go in the world. And you can do it with honey. You can do it with a mango. It's just all about set and setting, and our bodies are part of that. So you can create that environment in your body for you to have that experience. It can be tied to anything. It can be tied to music, singing. It doesn't just necessarily need to be ingesting. But food is just an incredible part of our culture everywhere you go. And one of the things that's so different between here and Luang Prabang is just the amount of sodium chloride that people put into their bodies, like just from eating downtown here. And so the diet was more easy to have a clean diet in Luang Prabang, Lao, but like, look where you are. You're in the middle of the tropics on the Mekong River. So, and here in Hovel, we're at 7,200 feet. And although the sea is close by and the air is supercharged fresh here, and yes, there's a lot of farming around here, but it's and it is fairly easily accessible. So in a lot of ways, it's similar, actually, to Luang Prabang, although the fresh sugarcane juice and the green coconuts was like a huge part of our diet there, which is missing here. But there's other things. There's brown coconuts. There's no one doing a press here for the milk, which I would like. That's what I would do. And but there's lots of citrus. There's lots of watermelon and cantaloupe and honeydew and mangoes. Just an ocean of mangoes and avocados, like just steady flow of those too, which are really delicious. And a lot of herbs. If you go into the right stalls, there's a lot of herbs. The only thing that's really different is there's so much more junk food here than there was in Luang Prabang, Lao. So everywhere you go, the people are the same, really, at the end of the day. And the weaving textiles here is a huge range, similar to Luang Prabang. So that weaving culture is here that I love so much. Yeah. Obesity is a lot higher here, for sure, because there's just so much more access to all of this fast food, prepackaged, prefabbed, chemical cocktails. So that really shows in the people. And it's still similar. Sometimes it reminds me of Thailand, where you go into one of these cafes and you feel the music that's in there. You feel like you're walking into some teenager's bedroom. So there's plenty of that here. We haven't found our favorite cafe there. We haven't found anything like the one we had, our favorite one in Luang Prabang. La Benetton. Gosh, I don't even remember the name. But there's so much potential here. It's really wild. But the music, or else really weird ambiance, and a lot of muzzles still here. And there's just like, why can't we see each other's faces anymore? It's really, I'm learning in this whole process of this breatharian kind of pull that's pulling me. is just being okay with everything, and pulling myself out of the story more and more, and just observing more and more, and observing myself in that play, which is what I love about starting the day with some kind of body movement, and singing, and just feeling the body's strength in movement, not just physical, but on a mental level also, and not restricting myself in my flexibility or my body's ability to regenerate itself. And yeah. And in conclusion to all of this movement over the last few months, and this breatharian pull, and feeling pulled also to make another move with an unknown date set, but to eventually end up in Spain. And hopefully on a little island, well, a big little island called Majorca. Really hope I pronounced that properly, and my apologies to anyone I just offended if I said that wrong. All right, wrapping it up. Ciao for now. Bye.